as you can probably hear, oh, I can hear myself, oh no. That cold that I had during the Higurashi stream, I still have it. It's still here. Oh! Void. Yeah. I'm working on a little bit of merch at the moment. Spoiler. But thank you so much, Void. I'm guessing it's that much because you want me to get Pokemon, and I will just for you. But yes, you might not recognize me, but it is in fact Briony Rose Smith from the Forbidden Library. I may have a bit of a cold, so there will be sniffles today, and there will be potentially sneezes. And I may potentially need to blow my nose, but I will do my best to not be too gross. I am Briony Rose Smith. Who twitch mustache. Mustache. I found detective gear. It was so good. They had they were selling it on their coffee. The artist, I can't remember the name of the artist. They were selling it on their coffee, and they had it in so many different colors. So I got this nice purple, and oh, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. But anyway, hi Void. Thank you for the muns. I will do as you wish and get Pokemon because I know that's what you want me to do with that money. So I'll do it for you. Hi Rare Candy Guy and hi Luke. All those compliments to you too, bitch. You too. Other than that, today is a reading stream. We got through most of why is my stash not moving as much as it should? Let me look forward. It should move with me. There we go. That's a bit better. We got through most of A Scandal in Bohemia last week, so I'll give a little summary of what happened in A Scandal in Bohemia. At the start of the story, our dear Watson, our point of view character, told us of that woman, Irene Adler, and how Sherlock will always refer to her as that woman and never her name. In this story, we are introduced to Irene Adler, however, not just yet. We were introduced to a new client of Sherlock Holmes, which happens to be a king of a small European country. Dang, Lucas beat me to it. But dang, one of those Jennifers left the thermostat cold. They did. It got a little chilly. And I got a little sniffly. And he needed Sherlock to go get a photo from this Eileen of them together in a compromising position because it could put an end to his potential new wedding that he's going to be having. So he can't have his fiancée see this photograph of him fraternizing with another woman. No. So Sherlock was on the case. He tracked down Miss Irene Adler to a place called Briony Lodge, which I had no idea about. Apparently that's a thing. It's my name. And then he tricked Miss Irene Adler into telling him where the photograph was by pretending to staging a fire. He got her to take him into his house and made Watson throw in a smoke grenade and then call fire. So she thought there was a fire. So what's the first thing she's going to do? She's going to protect her incriminating evidence. So she protected her incriminating evidence and showed him exactly where it was. But there is more to this tale. Miss Irene Adler is married. She too has a reason to keep this photograph hidden, because if her husband finds out that she has been fraternizing with other men, oh no! This cannot be. But why does she still have it? That is the question. So we will find out right now as we read the rest. Part 3 of A Scandal in Bohemia. I slept at Baker Street that night, and we were engaged upon our toast and coffee in the morning, when the King of Bohemia rushed into the room. "You have really got it?" he cried, grasping Sherlock Holmes by either shoulder and looking eagerly into his face. "Not yet. But you have hopes?" "I have hopes." Then come. I am all impatience to be gone." If you go to Briony Lodge and see an armour smith who makes rose-coloured armours, then are they a Briony rose smith? I got that one. Yes, they are. "You must have a cab." "No, my burman is waiting." "Then that simplifies matters." We descended and started off once more for Briony Lodge. "Irene Adler is married," remarked Holmes. "Married? When?" "Yesterday." "But to whom?" "To an English lawyer named Norton." "But she could not love him." I am in hopes that she does." "And why in hopes?" "Because it would spare your Majesty all fear of future annoyance. If the lady loves her husband, and she does not love your Majesty, if she does not love your Majesty, there is no reason why she should interfere with your Majesty's plan." "That is true. And yet, well, I wish she had been of my own station. What a queen she would have made." Irene Adler, queen. Heck yeah. He relapsed into a moody silence, which was not broken until we drew into Serpentine Avenue. The door of Briony Lodge was open, and an elderly woman stood upon the steps. She watched us with a sardonic eye as we stopped from the burman. "Mr. Sherlock, I believe," said she. "I am Mr. Holmes," answered my companion, looking at her with a questioning and rather startled gaze. "Indeed. The mistress told me you were likely to call. She left this morning with her husband by the 5:15 train from Charing Cross from the Continent." "What?" Sherlock Holmes staggered back, white with chagrin and surprise. "Do you mean she has left England?" "Never to return, my ass." "And the papers?" "And the papers," sassed the king hoarsely. "All is lost." "We shall see." He pushed past the servant and rushed into the drawing room. Followed by the king and myself, the furniture was scattered about in every direction, with dismantled shelves and open drawers, as if the lady had hurriedly ransacked them before her flight. Holmes rushed at the bell-pull, tore back a small sliding shutter, and plunging in his hand, pulled out a photograph and a letter. The photograph was of Irene Adler herself in an evening dress. The letter was superscribed to Sherlock Holmes, Esquire, to be left till called for. My friend tore it open, and we all three read it together. It was dated at midnight of the preceding night, and ran in this way: My dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes, you really did it very well. You took me in completely. Until after the alarm of fire, I had not a suspicion. But then, when I found out how I had betrayed myself, I began to think. I had been warned against you months ago. I had been told that if the king employed an agent, it would certainly be you, and your address had been given me. Yet, with all this, you made me reveal what you wanted to know. Even after I became suspicious, I found it hard to think evil of such a clear, kind old clergyman. But, I have been trained as an actress myself. Male costume is nothing new to me. I often take advantage of the freedom which it gives. I sent John, the coachman, to watch you, ran upstairs, got into my walking clothes, as I called them, and came down just as you departed. Well, I followed you to your door, and so made sure that I was really an object of interest to the celebrated Sherlock Holmes. Then I, rather imprudently, wished you good night, and started for the temple to see my husband. We both thought it the best resource was flight, when pursued by a formidable antagonist, so you would find the nest empty when you came to call tomorrow. As to the photograph, your client may rest in peace. I love and am loved by a better man than he. The king may do what he will without hindrance from one whom he has cruelly wronged. I keep it only to safeguard myself, and to preserve a weapon which will always secure me from any steps he might take in the future. I leave a photograph which he might care to possess, and I remain, dear Mr. Sherlock Holmes, very truly yours, Irene Norton near the Adler. Oh, that's no wonder he's got such a thing against. Give me a hot sec. What a woman! Oh, what a woman! The king cried. The king of Bohemia cried. The king of Bohemia, when we had all three read this episticle. Did I not tell you how quick and resolute she was? Would she not have made an admirable queen? She would, honestly. It is not a pity that she was not on my level. From what I have seen of the lady, she seems, indeed, to be on a very different level to your majesty. Greetings, folks, welcome, said Holmes coldly. I am sorry I have not been able to bring your majesty's business to a more successful conclusion. I am. I have found some assets, a nice hat and cloak. On the contrary, my dear sir, cried the king, nothing could be more successful. I know that her word is inviolable. The photograph is now safe, as if it were on fire. Oh, I'm glad to hear your majesty say so. I am indebted to you. Pray, tell me in what way I can reward you. This ring... He slipped an emerald snake ring from his finger and held it out upon the palm of his hand. Your majesty has something which I should value even more highly, said Holmes. You have but to name it. This photograph. The king stared at him in amazement. Irene's photograph? He cried. Look like a proper Danganronpa character. Yeah, I'm a Danganronpa character. When you take my hat off, I reveal Biaoge. I am a protagonist. Super ultra detective. Yeah, there we go. I totally didn't managed to screw my sleeve into my own water bottle then. Better. I thank you, Your Majesty. Then there is no more to be done in the matter. I have the honour to wish you a very good morning. He bowed and turned away without observing the hand which the king had stretched out to him. He set off in my company for his chambers. And that was how the great scandal threatened to affect the kingdom of Bohemia, and how the best plans of Mr. Sherlock Holmes were beaten by a woman's wit. He used to make merry over the cleverness of woman, but I have not heard him do it of late. And he speaks of Irene Adler, or refers to her photograph. It is always under the honourable title of the woman. I would look like a good dang character. We did it! We finished a short story, which technically counts towards my my number. So I will definitely make sure to make a small video for that. Speaking of which, my number is wrong right now. Even just counting my videos, it should be 9,951. Well, that's the first short story over. A lot of Sherlock Holmes stories are short stories. Hey, Briony, have you read And Then There Were None? No, I have not read And Then There Were None. Is that a Sherlock or is that something else? Let's have a look at the list of Sherlocks that we've got in here. There we go. Got the Red-Headed League, A Case of Identity, the Boscombe Valley Mystery, The Five Orange Pips, A Man with the Twisted Lip, The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle, The Adventure of the Speckled Band, The Adventure of the Engineer's Thumb, The Adventure of the Noble Bachelor, The Adventure of Beryl Cornet, The Adventure of Copper Beeches. I kind of want to read the Carbuncle. I don't think it's not going to be the Carbuncle I'm thinking of, but I still want to read it. Let's read that one. The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. It's a murder mystery. If you don't read that for now, it'll ruin something that's later. Oh, okay. Is it a ruiner thing it'll ruin later? Is it just me, or is the firecrackle sound a bit louder than me? It might be because I'm a bit quieter than usual due to my schnaffels. I can turn them down ever so slightly. Gotta get my volumes right. I think I'm a little quieter today because of my sickness. I am down with the sickness. Down with the sickness. Gotta get up, come on, get down with the sickness. Oh, that wasn't too bad though. I thought I might struggle to read. I was tempted to go like, if we get to the end of Bohemia and I still feel like naff, that I tried eating soup to suppress it. Nah, I had pizza instead. There was an all-you-can-eat pizza thing, even though we didn't end up having the all-you-can-eat because it was a really weird all-you-can-eat because it was chef's choice. So you basically told him what you didn't like and what you were allergic to, and then the chef had to choose what you ate. The chef would just make you a pizza they wanted to make, and you would just have pizza gacha for all you can eat. But none of us actually wanted to do that, so we just ordered the pizzas we wanted. and I had my favorite pizza, which is a carbonara pizza. So it's like white carbonara sauce with some egg on it and some bacony bacon on it. It does sound awesome, does it? I kind of wanted to do it, but no one else really wanted to. And I wasn't really going to be able to taste many pizzas if I was doing it on my own. So there was no real point in doing it on my own. You usually drink Sprite, Powerade, and eat bread-like things like crackers or bread. I mean, that's not terrible. You're getting your carbohydrates in. You're getting some sugar in. Probably could do with some veggies in there, but... So it's not the worst. When you're sickish, that's fair. Now you make my mouth water. I'm sorry, it's such a good pizza. It's my favorite. Super favorite pizza in the world. And it was so good. So good. And I had a Cinnabon afterwards too. Cinnabon for pudding. It was tasty. I need to sneeze. I don't know if it's gonna happen though. It might not happen, but my nose is tickling like I need to sneeze, but I can't sneeze. Have you heard of a gacha cafe? No. There is another place that is kind of like a gacha cafe. It's this place. It's a chain place, so I can tell you the name without giving away anywhere that I go to specifically. But it's called Mowgli's, and it's like an Indian street foodie kind of place. And one of the things on the menu is literally like curry gacha. I can't remember what they call it, but you order it and then you get like a stack of tins, and then one has a rice in it, and then one has a curry in it, and then one has a side in it, and you don't know what kind of curry and stuff you're gonna get. You just get something tasty. And you can get a veggie one, obviously if you're a veggie, and a vegan one, and a normal meaty one. I normally get the normal meaty one. It's also another food gacha you can do. But if there's another place that does food gacha, because it's always fun to try new things, but then it's always fun to have your favorite things too. Like, I wanted the small Cinnabons today, the Cinnabons to go, but they didn't have any left, which made me sad. I had to have a normal one. I had a Biscoff one, but I wanted the small ones, but they didn't have any small ones. And it was sad. Anyway, I should probably stop talking about food. Actually read a book. You didn't even need to distract me that time. I just started talking about food and I couldn't stop. Can't stop talking about food. I think how gacha cafes work is you use a mobile game going in. They connect something to your mobile game in order to make hold a cafe, and you get to roll your gacha based games on what they order you. Oh, that's interesting. Food is always the right answer. Correct. I am incredibly food motivated by things. Yeah, it could be done in arcades. Interesting. Interesting. Fair enough. It was a good rant about food. We like food. I like food. Food is great. But you know what else is great? Carbuncles are great. But this isn't gonna be the carbuncle I'm thinking of, though. So to keep distracting you with food talk, you had soup. I didn't have soup for my sickness. I had pizza, like I say. I should have soup, though. We do have soup. Wow, I am so easily distracted by food. But I'm gonna roll with it. We do have soup in, but it's really bog standard stuff, like a good old tomato soup. We don't have a chicken soup in, which is, I know what people normally do for sickness, but got a good old tomato soup. But you know what? You know what I used to have when I was sick that I do have in is I would do that. I would do sit-ups for pizza. Good morning, Shikaba. Good morning. I'll tell you what we do have in. Sketty hoops, which is spaghetti hoops. I don't tend to say the whole word. It actually took me a hot minute to figure out what the whole word was. But sketty hoops and toast was always the thing I'd have as a kid. No, you're cool, Luke. You're cool. When I get sick, I just jump out of my window. I bet that hurts. Heinz spaghetti hoops. Let me see if I can show you. Sounds like a rapper name. I thought it would be an interesting one. Let me see if I can. Heinz spaghetti hoops. You wanna hear me rap? I ain't that good at it, just so as you know. Especially if I am this snuffled. Spaghetti hoops. Here, these are sketty hoops. Heinz spaghetti hoops. Look at them. They are glorious. Yeah, it's a Storytime stream now. This is what I would have as a kid. Like, I would have this, and my mom would make toast for me. And my toast isn't really toast, I won't lie. It's warm bread. My name's Briony, and I heard to say I like pizza. Yes. What more do you need? I do have a cold, Shikaba. I do, unfortunately. Yes, Skettios. Basically, yes, Skettios. I knew there was an American word for it, but I didn't really know. It is called spaghetti hoops here. Sketty hoops. Yeah, and they were my go-to as a kid. I always keep a tin at home now as kind of a comfort food. I've had a lot of tea. I had a chai latte today. I went to Starbucks. It was great. I don't get chai lattes a lot because they're a lot of effort to make at home, and they're quite expensive as a drink to buy. We call it cursed spaghetti. Why is it cursed? Why is it cursed, folks? What did the skitty hoops ever do to you? I think it could be called skitty hoops somewhere else. Chai technically... I know chai means tea. But we tend to use it as a word for a spiced tea. A sort of more spiced tea. I know, I'm sorry, I'm terrible at this immersion thing. I just wanted to tell you about my day. It's fine, there's a Starbucks in the library. What do you want about? I never went anywhere. This isn't an immersion break. There's a Starbucks in the library. I mean, there's a Starbucks pretty much anywhere on Earth. Like, there was this island in Japan we went to. And there wasn't a single convenience shop on that island. But there was, in fact, a Starbucks. Which was impressive. It was Miyajima, I think. Miyajima is a temple island in Japan. Shikaba, you ask me every time if I am British. I am British. Did the mustache not give it away? Oh, I'm feeling silly today. I'm feeling extra silly today. But, oh yeah, I was saying chai. Chai is what we use to kind of classify more spiced tea. Chai tea, which I know means TT. I am aware. I have watched Spider-Verse. And I loved that bit because I was aware that it was chai chai, and I love that TT. We like some coffee and you creamer. Oh, I love that. I love that Spider Boy. He was so cute. He was such a good boy. He did not know the struggles of being a Spider-Man yet, and it made me happy. I feel like Starbucks is decidedly built for tourists. Potentially, yeah. I mean, it's a little different in every country, isn't it? They all have, like, different stuff depending on different tastes from the country. It's like McDonald's. Like Mackey's. Where it's everywhere, but it's always slightly different. Whatever country you go to, there's always slightly different things on the menu. Slightly different rules. Yeah, she's British. She yelled at me saying I dip pineapple pizza. Why would... But why would you dip pizza in tea in general? They are both heavenly, godly things that should not mix. Do not mix tea and pizza. Please. Pretty please. With a moustache on top. What else can I rant about? But yeah, Miyajima was interesting. I'm gonna tell you about Miyajima now. This is where we're at today. I had a thought. I was pretty sure coming to the stream that I might not feel like reading, and here we are. I don't. So we're gonna carry on with me telling you about Miyajima. Was an interesting island because no one was allowed to die or be born on the island. It was an interesting little... It was a religious rule. You ever eat momo? No. I don't know what that is, momo. Someone I know dipped grilled cheese into ramen. It's pretty good, apparently. Now, that wouldn't be too bad, because, I mean, that's just a salty broth. So it would basically just, like, be putting a crap ton of... Well, it depends on the ramen, obviously, but it's usually pretty salty. So, that would make sense. And I wish I got to see more of Miyajima. But at that point in the holiday, I was kind of dead. Momo dumplings, but like, there's a lot of different kind of dumplings. But I don't think I've had dumplings in that sense. I've had like gyoza dumplings. I've had like the kind of dumplings you get in stew. But I don't think I've had momo. If someone had a heart attack on the island, that would be a rule broken on the island. Yes, it would. They do their best to ferry people off when they start getting sick and things like that. They have to go to hospitals on the mainland. And if you get pregnant and that on the island, you have to go to the hospital, the mainland still. You have to get a ferry while you're in bloody Liba. Luckily, the mainland wasn't that far off. The ferry was pretty short. But I couldn't imagine that. It must be very hard to keep things together. But that place was pretty cut off. And there were so many deer. And they would just like hang out in front of shops and stuff. And just, I don't know, beg for food mostly. While we were having dinner there, the lady who owned the shop went out with like all the leftover lettuce and just threw it out for the deer. You've had dumplings from a grocery store freezer. It was very greasy. I feel like I wasn't eating real dumplings. Yeah, I could say I've probably done similar, and it's mostly like gyoza style dumplings I've had, but not really. We're not really proper dumplings the way you probably should have it. Favorite noodle brands? I mean, there's Super Noodle. I don't think I actually really like Super Noodles. No, I do like Super Noodles. It's pot noodle I was thinking of. I don't really like pot noodle. I don't tend to eat many noodles in general, so I can't really give you that answer, to be honest. And I am not even gonna touch that retirement question. Oh, to be a deer in a tourist Japanese island. Yeah, you can get attacked. The Nara deer are a lot nicer. If you want to go interact with some deer in Japan, you'll want to go to Nara. Oh, man. Come on, nose. If you want to sneeze, just sneeze. But the Miyajima deer were freaking ruthless. They nearly tried to eat the map out of my bag that was just like poking out of my bag. And then when I was holding it, they tried to just eat it from my hands. I was like, no, dear. No, that's not food. Your belly won't like this food. It's not food. It's just a map. Please don't eat my map. I actually heard the Nara deer becoming a pest farm. That doesn't surprise me. There were so many. So many. But they were very polite. At least they bowed. Well, they didn't always bow. Some of them were just like... What happens if you smack the deers? They'll probably attack you back. There were a lot of signs in Nara, both in English and Japanese, that were like, these are wild deer. Behave yourself. They might attack you for no reason. They are, in fact, wild animals. Just be careful. So, yeah, I don't suggest you go to Japan and attack a deer. What am I talking about? I'm talking about Japan and the wild deer that just kind of roam around in some of the areas. In Nara, you can buy snacks for them, and they know as soon as you buy snacks. They hang around near the snack cells, and as soon as you have them in your hand, they're like, hello, 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 you are my best friend now. If you're good and you're strict, you can get them to bow for it. But, yeah, they're pretty... You like to eat wild deer? Oh, dear! Nah, I imagine deer's pretty good. I don't think I've had any venison. What do I think about American deers? I don't know, I've never seen any. I've never met any. I can only talk about the Japanese ones, because I have met them personally. Yeah, cosplay Bambi's arch enemy and prank some deer. That would be an oh dear. Oh, I have many buttons that make sounds, and this one is just one. I just don't always use them to great effect because there's so many other things to think about while streaming that I didn't really think about how much extra a soundboard puts in for you, you know? Ba-ba. I'm cute. Anyway. Did you say you've been to America in previous streams? I have been to America, but it has been many, many years. I think I've been twice. Yeah, my setup is basically mostly a stream deck. I'm not gonna lie, it does all the things. Why humans use their word to another human, I don't understand. Could you explain? I have no idea what you're on about. I don't think I can quite I don't understand what you are saying. Could you explain? Did you say I've been to America? Yes, I've been to America. It was when I was younger. We went to Florida. We went to all the like Disneyland and Universal and SeaWorld and Animal Kingdom. That was a separate Disney one, wasn't it? But that was about all I've seen of America. I've stayed in Miami for one night, but that was to get on a cruise ship, so we didn't really see any Miami. And all I remember of Miami is it being smoggy AF. It was fun. The cruise was very fun. I was very excited on the cruise. The only thing is I wasn't really much of a drinker and still aren't much of a drinker. So it can get a little bit boring if you're not, like, drinking. Especially on the days out on sea. And all the TV kind of repeats. The food wasn't great. If you wanted, like, snacks, it wasn't great. Because I like to pig out on crisps and stuff like that. I mean, chips for you Americans. Chips. But, yeah, it wasn't great. Deer is an animal, but people usually denote each other like, oh dear, please stop. Are they calling them animals? Or deer also means something else. So, oh dear. Oh, we're getting into word etymology. I am going to do some Googling so I can give you the cold hard facts about old dear phrase. I would like to get this wrong, because honestly, like, let's look at the origin of oh dear then. Something bad and oh dear me, why this? So dear is normally a form of endearment, like a woman would call their husband, dear, how are you doing, dear? Oh dear. I want dear specifically. From the Middle English dear, from Old English dere, from Proto-West Germanic as well. There's a lot. It's from a lot of different languages, apparently. A little bit German, a little bit Scottish, a little bit Dutch, a little bit Norwegian. Etymology too, from Middle English, Old English. So it's generally just an old ass English word. Pear is not said the same way. Deer and pear. Very true. That doesn't seem to be a good explanation on the actual, like, how it came to be used. So it seems to be that it just became a sort of loving phrase. Like I said, like a wife would say to husband, oh dear, I love you dear, you're the best dear. So oh dear would be would be more of a oh no, comma, dear. And then I guess that became oh dear became its own phrase somewhere down the line. I don't know where the crossover between that and an actual dear came in. I mean, the thing about the English language is that it is many languages in a trench coat due to the state of England back in the day. Oh god, now we're onto a history lecture. Just roll with it, okay? So before America, before just after the Romans, I'd probably say. England was... stupid heart, why is it in the way? England was invaded over and over again. Basically, you had the Celts, Scots, Anglos, Saxons. I think Celts and Scots were kind of the same thing at the time. You had the Welsh really hard trying to keep their stuff, but probably not really able to keep their stuff. You got the French, which I believe were basically the Saxons. You had the Nords coming down from Scandinavia. And because there was such a big crossover in many different countries and languages and cultures just clashing together, the basically it became a bunch of languages in a trench coat, yeah. It just became a big mess of all these different invading countries' languages. I don't know if you guys checked out the rules, but fair warning, talks of colonization and shit, because it's coming up so many times, is now a time-outable offence, and if you carry on with it, you will be banned. Please keep this in mind, because it's kind of just annoying to get that all the time, because I just happen to be British. Can we not? Oh, I didn't put the updated rules in here, so fair enough, I'm giving you that one, but I'm going to go update the rules now as we speak. Thank you, Boyd. Let me just go update those rules for you guys so that you can have the nice new shiny rules, which makes this a nice place to be. But yeah, so that's why the English language is weird. The Minecraft stream may have started this rule, yes. It's not, that wasn't the first stream I had that, and it's happened enough times now. This is maybe the 5th stream where I've had very specific questions like that, so, what am I doing? I'm updating the rules in the description so that you guys can see the new updated rules of chat etiquette. Currently I'm just existing, Cherry. I mean, why does it have to be either? Can I not just exist on the internet? I mean, I guess I should try read. I have been chatting crap for about half an hour now. You were not too mean on that guy, Void Dweller. You were not. I was gonna do it if I could. What? No, I didn't mean to. I will probably get back to reading now. You are right, Cherry. I should probably, do what the stream was saying. I would like to know what the blue carbuncle is as well, wouldn't you guys? I kind of want to know. Let's find out. The Adventure of the Blue Carbuncle. I had called upon my friend Sherlock Holmes upon the 2nd morning after Christmas, with the intention of wishing him the compliments of the season. He was lounging upon the sofa in a purple dressing gown, a pipe rack within his reach upon his right, and a pile of crumpled morning papers, evidently newly studied, near at his hand. Besides the couch was a wooden chair, and on the angle of the back hung a very seedy and disreputable hard felt hat, much the worse for wear, and cracked in several places. Tied him out for a day, though. I was thinking that's still fine. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. Probably, well, no. They're both timed out. And they both said the thing. No, I think that was fine, Void. You did a good job. in China. The power! The mod power! A lens and a forceps lying upon the seat of the chair suggested that the hat had been suspended in a manner for the purpose of examination. "You are engaged," said I. "Perhaps I interrupt you." "Not at all. I am glad you have a friend with whom I can discuss my results. The matter is a perfectly trivial one." He jerked his thumb in the direction of the old hat. "But there are points in connection with it which are not entirely devoid of interest and even instruction." I seated myself in his armchair and warmed my hands before his crackling fire, for a sharp frost had set in, and the windows were thick with ice crystals. I suppose I remarked that homely as it looks, this thing has some deadly story linked to it, and it is the clue which will guide you in the solution of some mystery and the punishment of some crime. No, crime," said Sherlock Holmes, laughing. "Only one of those whimsical incidents which will happen when you have 4 million human beings all jostling each other within the same space of a few square miles. Amid the action and reaction of so dense a swarm of humanity, every possible combination of events may be expected to take place, and a little problem will be presented which may be striking and bizarre without being criminal, and have already had experience as such. So much so," I remarked, "that of the last 6 cases which have been added to my notes, 3 have been entirely free of any legal crime. Guys, leave this boring stream." Cool. If you don't want to be here, that's fine. You go away then. I've already acted on that one, Void, don't worry. If someone doesn't want to be here, then they can leave. Just kick them out. Who goes into other people's streams just to tell them to watch someone else's stream? I mean, that's just stupid, especially one with Andrew Tate in. No worries, Fox. You chill out. That's what these Sunday vibes are for. You chilling out. I'll add it to the list of rules if you come in and just tell someone it's shit. Yeah, Perry, it's a bit nasty to come into a stream where literally only 8 people are watching to just troll like that. I'm not putting up with it. From here on in, I'm becoming a wee bit stricter. Yeah, exactly. If the stream was so big and that message just disappeared in 2 seconds, maybe they could get away with it, but not here. Not here. And even then, I'd hope to have a few more mods to catch it at that point. Precisely. You allude to my attempt to recover Irene Adler's papers, to the singular case of Miss Mary Sutherland, and to the adventure of the man with the twisted lip. Well, I have no doubt that this small matter will fall into the same innocent category. You know Peterson, the commissioner? The commissionaire? Yeah. It is to him that this trophy belongs. Is it his hat? No, he found it. Its owner is unknown. I beg that you will look upon it not as a battered billycock, but as an intellectual problem, and, first, as to how it came here. It arrived upon Christmas morning, in company with a good fat goose, which is, I have no doubt, roasting at this moment in front of Peterson's fire. The facts are these. About 4 o'clock on Christmas morning, Peterson, whom you know is an honest fellow, was returning from some small jollification, and was making his way homeward down Tottenham Court Road. Strange how people continuously choose to troll when it's perfectly okay to just troll. Exactly, like they don't even need to do anything. And if they don't like the stream, why are they here? Why? I don't understand. Ugh, internet bro. I don't. Briony does not compute trolling. But that's something I don't want to compute. I don't want to understand it. In front of him, he saw in the gaslight a tallish man, walking with a slight stagger, and carrying a white goose slung over his shoulder. As he reached the corner of Goodrich Street, a row broke out between this stranger and a little knot of roughs. One of the latter knocked off the man's hat, on which he raised his stick to defend himself, and swinging it over his head, smashed the shop window behind him. Peterson had rushed forward to protect the stranger from his assailants, but the man, shocked of having broken the window, and seeing an official-looking person in uniform rushing towards him, dropped his goose, took to his heels, and vanished amidst the labyrinth of small streets which lie at the back of Tottenham Court Road. The roughs had also fled at the appearance of Peterson, so that he was left in possession of the field of battle, and also of the spoils of victory in the shape of this battered hat, and a most unimpeachable Christmas goose. Oh no, not the Christmas goose. Which surely he resorted to their owner. I know. I'm getting 6 eyes on here. At most, I'll maybe have about 50 with the views afterwards. No, it's very strange, very silly. I don't understand. Whatever they do to make them feel important, I suppose. Which surely he restored to their owner. My dear fellow, there lies the problem. It is true that for Miss Henry Barker was printed upon a small card which was tied to the Berg's left leg. It is true that the initials HB are legible upon the lining of this hat, but there are some thousands of Bakers and some hundreds of Henry Bakers in this city of ours. It is not easy to restore lost property to any one of them. Oh yeah, Briony, for Runa streams, this doesn't happen to you yet. I hope it never starts. But if people start saying 5 to 20 things of game advice, I don't see a slow mode button to take care of it. If it happens, I'll tell you at the time. We'll cross the bridge when it gets to it. At that point, I think the Ruiner streams, we've done pretty well. Everyone's pretty nice, and if I tell people not to tell me things, it's fine. If I feel like things are maybe getting too fast, or is there a slow mode on my end? I don't think so. I don't know. Half the thing is, yes, Sherlock. We'll cross the bridge when we get to it, I think, with that one void. which is kind of how we've been going with the stream so far. Then, what did Peterson do? He brought round both hat and goose to me on Christmas morning, knowing that even the smallest problems are of interest to me. The goose were retained until this morning, when there were signs that, in spite of the slight frost, it would be well that it should be eaten without unnecessary delay. He lied, there was no Andrew Tate on the stream anyway. Well, that's what you get. That's what you get for trying to get people off a small stream and into a big one. It's so strange, so strange. What's he doing? Its finder has carried it off, therefore, to fulfill the ultimate destiny of the goose, while I continue to retain the hat of the unknown gentleman who has lost his Christmas dinner. Did he not advertise? No. Then, what clue could you have to his identity? Only as much as I can deduce. From his hat? Precisely. Yeah, probably just attention seeking. But you are joking. What can you gather from his old, battered felt? Here is my lens. You know my methods. What can you gather yourself as the individuality of the man who has worn this article? I took the tattered object in my hands and turned it over rather ruefully. It was a very ordinary black hat of the usual round shape. Hard and much worse for wear. The lining had been of a red silk, but was a good deal discoloured. There was no marker's name, but as Holmes had remarked, the initials HB was scrawled upon the side. Dude, you came to a reading stream and decided the story was boring. That means you should probably just leave the stream, dude. In fact, I'll help you out with that if you want. Bye. He's just timed out for now. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Hide user on channel. Yay, blocked. To the Shadow Realm with him, to the Shadow Realm with him. I'm actually getting quite enjoying sending people to the Shadow Realm, you know. I feel powerful. But the elastic was scrolled on the side. It was pierced in the brim for a hat securer, but the elastic was missing. For the rest, it was cracked, exceedingly dusty, and spotted in several places, although there seemed to have been some attempt to hide the discoloured patches by smearing them with ink. Or Florida. Even Detroit doesn't deserve that. Yeah, fair enough, Void, to give him a warning. That's fair. If you're finding it boring, then leave, bro. No one's forcing you to watch this. Honestly. Like I said, I will help. Thanks, Void. Oh, people are so funny. Your book's boring, man. Why are you watching, bro? Bro! You just wanted to know, then know what? You didn't even ask anything. Oh, this is an interesting stream. Lordy Lou. Oh well. I can see nothing, I said, handing it back to my friend. On the contrary, Watson, you can see everything. You fail, however, to reason from what you see. You are too timid in drawing your inferences. Then, pray tell me what it is you can infer from the hat. He picked it up and gazed at it in the particular introspective fashion which was characteristic of him. It is perhaps less suggestive than it might have been, he remarked, and yet there are a few inferences which are very distinct, and a few others which represent at least a strong balance of probability. That the man was highly intellectual is, of course, upon the face of it, and also that he is fairly well-to-do within the last 3 years, although he has fallen upon evil days, and had foresight. He had foresight, but... Good morning, Kickbucks. I like your name. Butuksky. We're reading a bit of Sherlock Holmes. He's examining a hat right now. He had foresight, but he had less now than formerly, pointing to a moral retrogression, which, when taken with the decline of his fortunes, seems to indicate some evil influence. Why are you making your name weird? But your name is Kick Butuksky. Because you have an I on the end, right? Is that not how we say it? Sherlock Holmes is in fact old school. That's why we can read it without permission. Probably drink at work upon him. This may account also for the obvious fact that his wife has ceased to love him. My dear Holmes! He has, however, retained some degree of self-respect. He continued, disregarding my remonstrance. He is a man who lends a sedentary life, goes out little, is out of training entirely, is middle-aged, has grizzled hair, which he has had cut within the last few days, and which he anoints with lime cream. You need permission to read stories, so much control of your husband. No, I need permission from authors. I don't want publishers to come after me for reading things I shouldn't, for spoiling books and things like that. There are rules. These are the most patent facts which are to be deduced from the hat. Also, by the way, that it is extremely improbable that he has gas laid on his house. I mean, I'm not sure they can, but most books, when you open them, you have that copyright page. And most of them say not to be reproduced without the express permission of either the author or the publisher, which means streaming it online as well. Like, you can get away with maybe the first 10% or so, but you can't really read the whole book without permission. It's like if you released someone's whole album without their permission, things like that. It's intellectual property! You are certainly joking, Holmes. Not in the least. It is possible that even now, when I give you these results, you are unable to see how they are obtained. Wasn't Watson supposed to be a detective in his own right? No, Watson is a doctor. He is not a detective. And if he is a bit of detective, then he has just learned it from Sherlock. Read the Bible instead of Sherlock Holmes. Jesus can sue you. Maybe. Bit of blasphemy. Godly copyright, if you will. The Celestial Copyright Court finds you. I shouldn't be laughing at that. That's funny. That's funny. Not in the least. It is possible that even now, when I give you these results, you are unable to see how they are attained. I have no doubt that I am very stupid, but I must confess that I am unable to follow you. For example, how did you induce that the man was an intellectual? Sounds like a good story. The Celestial Copyright Court. I should do that as a short story. Let me write that down as an idea. Where am I going to write it down? I have so many pieces of paper, and I don't know which one I'm going to pay attention to in the future. Let's just write it on a thing. Wasn't Watson supposed to be husband or some British streamer? I mean, I heard there was a HoloLive British streamer called Watson. And Celestial Copyright Court. Okay, that's written down so I can try remember that exists. I'm making a joke because Watson always pretends that she's British sometimes, so I was making a small joke on that. What kind of archive of our own have I been reading? I haven't been reading any. In law, yes, but actually no. Yeah. Bro, I was never supposed... This is a Storytime Sunday. I'd read every Sunday. If you guys don't think I was reading... The thumbnail says I'm reading. The title says I'm reading. The category is entertainment, not gaming. So no, I was never supposed to be playing games right now. That's on you if you assumed. It's not Tuesday, it's Sunday. Don't gaslight me. I know the days. I know the days. There's 7 of them. It could be. But leave them for now. That's not too bad. Down, Void. For answer, Holmes clapped the hat upon his head. It came right over his forehead and settled on the bridge of his nose. How, I mean... Good for you. Today it is Sunday for me, and on my Sundays, I read books. So, Storytime Tuesday for you. Keeping your eyes buttered. Yes, keep them buttered till the end. It came right over his forehead and settled on the bridge of his nose. It is a question of cubic capacity, said he, A man with so large a brain must have something in it. Now that's not entirely correct. Either he's lying or he's a time traveler. I'm assuming he's just lying, and honestly, I'm not here to argue with it. Because obviously mainland island ain't that far from me, so at the most he's gonna be an hour away. I'd be surprised if you could. I don't really want to know it though, I'm gonna be honest. I'm good with not knowing the future, even if it's just 2 days from now. Also, I was going to say with the large brain thing, actually that's not entirely correct, because the larger brain you have, the more space you'll have between your neurons, which means that your thoughts will take longer, theoretically. So theoretically, having a large brain actually doesn't mean you're smarter. But then again, they were definitely not to know that in the times that this was written, so... The decline of his fortune, then. This hat is 3 years old. These flat brims, curled at the edge, came in then. It is a hat of the very best quality. Look at the brand of ribboned silk and the excellent lining. If this man could afford to buy so expensive a hat 3 years ago... Briony in 2 days will act... You'll accident... Why would you curse me with that, Void? Cool. If a kid that doesn't exist cries in the woods with no one around to hear it, do they cry at all? Yes, yes, smooth brain and rough brain too. If your brain is all crinkly, then it also makes you smarter, apparently. And has no hat since, then he assuredly has gone down in the world. Well, that is clear enough, certainly. But how about the foresight and the moral retrogression? Sherlock laughed. There is the foresight, and he put his finger upon the little disc and hoop of the hat securer. Why is the phrase bird brain isn't an insult? That's why the phrase bird brain is an insult. Yes, because they have very small brains. They are never sold upon hats. If this man ordered one, it is a sign of a certain amount of foresight, since he went out of his way to take the precaution against the wind. But since we see that it has broken the elastic and has not troubled to replace it, it is obvious that he has less foresight now than formerly, which is distinct proof of a weakening nature. Cool. Have fun with that. No, I'm not amused. No worries, Void, no worries. They are at least timed out. I'm probably being a bit too nice by timing them out, really, but I'm not amused by people coming after my Britishness. I'm not amused at people coming after my gender. It does somewhat take the fun out of streaming a wee bit. But hey ho. On the other hand, he has enamoured to conceal some of these stains upon the felt by dabbing them with ink, which is a sign that he has not entirely lost his self-respect. Yeah, I'm trying to give some people a second chance. Some of them are not getting it, but I think if they are here to pretty much just say I'm being boring and insult the stream, then ban them, because obviously they didn't really want to bloody be here, did they? If they're here, I don't know, it's hard. This is new. Oh, I'm not sure how to deal with this shit, but we'll figure it out as we go. We'll figure it out. I will not be bullied off the internet for now. Spammers are public enemy number one, but none of these have been spammers yet. Yeah, these guys are voice changer. I'm not using a voice changer. I have a bad feeling. I am too, yeah. Let's give them a small chance. Small chance. But I'm feeling like I'm being attacked by alts right now. Went straight for the ban on that one. There is a lot of weirdos in the chat today. I'm I'm not going to private this one. None of this has been so bad that I feel like I could get banned for it, kind of thing. The Minecraft one was a whole nother kettle of fish. Yeah, it's either a lot of weirdos or one really persistent weirdo, and I'm really not sure which it is. Either way, it is making this stream very difficult. That's okay. I got some of you nice people there. I'm gonna... Can of beans. We got Perry, we got Fox, we got Void. We got nice people. They're supporting me. Lassiel's been pretty nice too. Perry. Appreciate you guys. I think I'm gonna take a small break though. BRB. back. Hello. I just needed a moment. I know I'm gonna have to get used to that kind of stuff. It is the internet after all. But I haven't really experienced it much. So just a wee bit of shook. I'm feeling a little better. Yes, son, I am back. You guys are great. I wanted to come back for you guys at least. I decided to flood when I'm sick, when I'm vulnerable. Bastards. I don't want him to beat me though. I will stream out of spite if I have to. Oh, funsy, funsy, funsy fun. We should do something. I should continue reading though, because reading is great. And I want to know how Sherlock got all these assumptions from just one hat. It's crazy. He's a smart cookie. Shame there are people like that enjoy chilling and listening. I'm glad you enjoyed listening. 1 second. I'm back and I'm calm this time. I promise I'm calm. I promise I won't nearly cry from a nice comment. I promise. We're emotional today, boys. Lordy. It's fine. I don't want to stop. She's not calm. I'm calm. Don't I look so goddamn calm? Yeah, I'll be okay. Just shooketh. Just a little shooketh. There may have been some minor tears. I won't lie. But I'm okay. I'll be okay. Just gotta feel feelings and shit, you know.
I don't know. We're in the process of developing my thick internet skin. But yeah, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. You will be okay. We will have a good stream. Let's go! Deep, deep breaths. Oh, we will beat the trolls. Take it easy, Cthulhu. You guys are great. Thank you so much for sticking with me through that chaotic bit of streaming. It seems things have calmed down a bit now, so let's do it. Your reasoning is certainly plausible. No, Void, don't think about that. Like, I wasn't sure what to do in some of those situations either. It's maybe the third time I've had things like that, but it's the first time I've had so many alts come back and things like that. It was... You've never... Oh, I assume you've never been a mod, and I've never had this happen as a streamer, so this really is just a learning experience for both of us. We just have to figure this out. I'm gonna get on at my friend who said they will help to mod as well. And maybe see if anyone else on the Discord is willing to take up mod position. And hopefully we can continue to have fun streams that are a nice chill place for everyone. That's what we want. Screw the trolls. Screw the haters. I'm gonna sit here snuffling my ass off and reading some Sherlock. Have my gross noises. Yeah, you do it. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that right now. Helping me get through. Only a small bit of online drama. Was there someone else on Discord who said they wanted to moderate? Because Lucas said they didn't want to, and I don't blame them for that. It's a sponsitivity. Was it Boris? Did Boris say something? I don't know. Mostly lurking, but you'll support me. I appreciate that. I should probably think about moderators on the Discord as well, actually. Ugh. Sponsitivities, but that's Tomorrow Me's problem right now. Tomorrow Me's problem. Okay. The further points that he is middle-aged is that the hair is grizzled, that it has been recently cut, is that he uses lime cream, are all to be gathered from the close examination of the lower part of the lining. The lens closes a large number of hair ends, clean cut by the scissors of the barber. They all appear to be adhesive, and there is a distinct odour of lime cream. This dust, you will observe, is not the gritty grey dust of the street, but the fluffy brown dust of the house, showing that it has been hung up indoors most of the time, while the marks of moisture upon the inside are proof positive that the wearer perspirated very freely, and could therefore hardly be in the best of training. Yeah, I will probably make you a moderator on there as well, Void. But that one's going to take a little bit of work because I have to very specifically tweak the permissions on Discord. It's a bit more complicated. But I will probably make you and the same IRL friend that wants to moderate on here mods on my Discord as well. You guys can help out there. It's safe at the moment. None of the trolls seem to have gone that far. At least they don't seem to have that much effort. But his wife, you said she had ceased to love him. This hat may not have been brushed for weeks. When I see you, my dear Watson, with a week's worth of accumulation of dust upon your hat, and when your wife allows you to go in and out in such a state, I shall fear that you have been unfortunate enough to lose your wife's affection. But he might be a bachelor. Nay, he was bringing home the goose as the peace offering to his wife. Remember the card upon the bird's leg? I mean, I imagine with the bowler hats, because they were usually like a feltish kind of material, you'd have to brush it because like hair would get stuck, kind of like how cat hair would get stuck on clothes and stuff like that. You'd brush the felt of the hat to make sure there's no hairs and stuff on it. Mm-hmm. You have an answer to everything, but how on earth do you deduce that the gas is not laid in his house? The goose is a peace offering to his wife because he is in trouble with his wife somehow, so he's brought home this lovely goose for Christmas dinner. He'd use the goose to instigate a bloodbath, especially if it was a live goose. Then the goose would instigate the bloodbath for you. But it is a dead goose for Christmas dinner. One tallow stain or even two might come by chance, but when I see no less than 5, I think that there could be little doubt that the individual must be brought into frequent contact with burning tallow, walks upstairs at night, probably with his hat on his head and the guttering candle in the other. Anyhow, he never got tallow stains from a gas jet. Are you satisfied? Wait, you're brushing clothes, usually smack it against something. I have one of those lint roller things for when I've gone to see my cat and her cat hair's all over me. Unless Sherlock means goose that's kept inside. No, a dead plucked goose ready for the oven. That's the word. I was doing like a shoving inside thing. Oh, I can't even describe the action I was doing to try for oven. It was like the shove inside oven thing. I don't even know. This is why I need a 3D model, so you can see the random crap I do. I have looked at stuff like that. There was a goose game, an untitled goose game, I believe, which looks like so much fun. Honk honk. Yeah, technically, I suppose. in a word, in a phrasing, I suppose. How much does a 3D model cost? I have no clue. Probably a lot. And then it's the tracking and stuff as well, which is a whole nother question. But, don't you even think about it, Void. You basically already just bought me the Pokemon expansion, so don't think about that one. When you shove it in, I thought you had thought of chicken stuffing. I mean, yeah, they would have been stuffing the goose as well. I wonder when that changed from goose to turkey at Christmas. Was that the Americans' fault? Or is it because we hunted gooses all too much? Did they start fighting back and breaking arms, and is that why we don't do it anymore? I wonder. Well, it is very ingenious, I said, laughing. But since, as you said just now, there has been no crime committed and no harm done, save the loss of a goose, all this seems to be a rather waste of energy. Holmes had opened his mouth to reply, when the door flew open and Peterson, the commissionaire, rushed into the apartment with flushed cheeks and the face of a man who is dazed with astonishment. "The goose, Holmes! The goose, sir!" he gasped. "Eh? What of it, then? Has it returned to life and flapped through the kitchen window?" Holmes twisted himself round upon the sofa to get a fairer view of the man's excited face. "See here, sir. What if my wife found it. See what my wife found in its crop." He held out his hand and displayed upon the centre of the palm a brilliantly scintillating blue stone, rather smaller than a bean in size, but such purity and radiance that it twinkled like an electric point in the dark hollow of his hand. I believe ASMR VTuber is something between 3 to 6k. Whoa! Whatever your rent of monthly payments were. Fair enough. That's crazy. That wouldn't surprise me though if it's that much, especially for like a good quality model. Like you could probably do it with a slightly worse quality model, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was that much for a good quality one. You think because turkeys have more meat on them? That would make sense. That would make sense. Ugh. Oh, sorry, I had something in my eye. Sherlock sat up with a whistle. "By Jove, Peterson," said he. "This is a treasure trove indeed. I suppose you know what you have got. A diamond, sir. A precious stone. It cuts into glass as though it were putty. It's more than a precious stone. It is the precious stone. Not the Countess of Morcar's blue carbuncle. The carbuncle's a diamond!" I ejaculate. Well, we definitely don't use that word in that context anymore, do we? Surely not. Oh. Precisely so. I ought to know its size and shape, seeing that I have read the advertisement about it in the Times every day lately. It is absolutely unique, and its value can only be conjecture. But the reward offered of £1,000 is certainly not 1/20 of the market price. That was Holmes again. Not Holmes, that was Watson again. Watson's doing things. Ayo. Ayo. £1,000? Great Lord of mercy, you can't even get a 3D model with that, it's worthless. The commissioner plumped down on his chair and stared from one to the other of us. That is the reward, and I have reason to know that there are sentimental considerations in the background that will induce the Countess to part with half of her fortune if she could recover the gem. It was lost, if I remember right, at the Hotel Cosmopolitan, I remarked. Precisely so. On December 22nd, just 5 days ago, John Horner, a plumber, was accused of having abstracted it from the lady's jewellery case. The evidence against him was so strong that the case was referred to as the Asses. Oh no, as I'm EP and also hungry, a deadly combo. Yep, you probably should have a small snack and then go to bed. It's very important. You won't last long? It's okay. There's only 10 minutes left of the stream now anyway, don't you worry. And you were here to support me when I needed you, folks, so don't you worry. You deserve a rest. And it sounds like we're coming to the end of this short story anyway. So don't you worry about it. I have some account of the matter here, I believe. He rummaged amidst the newspaper, glancing over the dates, until at last he smoothed out one, doubled it over, and read the following paragraph. Hotel Cosmopolitan jewellery robbery. John Horner, 26, plumber, was brought upon a charge of having upon the 22nd abstracted from the jewellery case of the Countess of Monaco the valuable gem known as the blue carbuncle. James Ryder, upper attendant at the hotel, gave his evidence to the effect that he had shown Horner up to the dressing room of the Countess Monica upon the day of the robbery, in order that he might solder the second bar of the grate, which was loose. He had remained with Horner some little time, but had finally been called away. Upon returning, he found Horner had disappeared, that the bureau had been forced open, and that the small Morocco casket, in which, as it afterwards transpired, the Countess was accustomed to keep her jewel, was lying empty on the dressing table. Honestly, the Briony t-shirt design, we could probably do that earlier, to be honest, than 10k subs. Oh, Bob. In my head, the blue campbell just looks like a toy car made out of rock. I mean, that's probably bigger than it actually is. If it says it's like the size of a bean, it must be very small, but very, very powerful. Probably contains much magic. Ryder instantly gave the alarm, and Horner was arrested the same evening, but the stone could not be found either upon his person or in his rooms. Catherine Cossack, maid of the Countess, disposed to having heard Ryder's cry of dismay upon discovering the robbery, and to having rushed into the room, where she found matters as described by the last witness. Inspector Bradstreet, B Division, gave evidence as to the arrest of Horner, who struggled financially, and protested his innocence in strong terms. Evidence of a previous conviction for robbery had been given against the prisoner. The magistrate refused to deal summarily with the offence, and referred to it as an assizes. Horner, who had shown signs of intense emotion during the proceeding, fainted away at the conclusion and was carried out of court. What's a carbuncle? An uncle of a car? A car uncle. To me, a carbuncle is a tiny, cute little animal from Final Fantasy. Well, from mythology in general, but my brain comes with pops up with the Final Fantasy one specifically. So much for the police court, said Holmes thoughtfully, tossing aside the paper. The question for us now to solve the sequence of events leading from a rifle to jewellery case at one end of the crop of a goose in Tottenham Court Road at the other. You see, Watson, our little deductions have suddenly assumed a much more important and less innocent aspect. Here is the stone. The stone came from the goose, and the goose came from Mr. Henry Baker, the gentleman with the bad hat, and all the other characteristics with which I have bored you. So now we must set ourselves very seriously to find this gentleman and ascertain what part he has played in this little mystery. To do this, we must try the simplest means first, and these lie undoubtedly in an advertisement in all the evening papers. If this fails, I shall have recourse to other methods. What will you say? Give me a pencil and a good slip of paper. Now then, found at the corner of Goodage Street, a goose and a black felt hat. Mr. Henry Baker can have the same by applying at 6:30 this evening at 2021 Baker Street. That is clear and concise. Very well, but will he see it? Well, he is sure to keep an eye on the papers, since to a poor man the loss was a heavy one. He was clearly so scared by this mischance in breaking the window, and by the approach of Peterson, that he thought of nothing but flight. But since then, he must have bitterly regretted the impulse which he caused to drop him the bird. Then again, the introduction of his name will cause him to see it,
for everyone who knows him will direct attention to it. Here you are, Peterson. Run down to the advertisement agency and have this put in the evening papers. Which, sir? Oh, the Globe, Star, Pall Mall, Sir James's Gazette, Evening News, Standard, Echo. Damn, some of those newspapers have been around a while, if they were still around for Holmes as well. Pretty sure the Standard and the Echo are still going. Star, too. The others, not so much. And any others that occur to you. Very well, sir. And this stone? Ah, yes, I shall keep the stone, thank you. And I say, Peterson, just buy a goose on your way back and leave it here with me, for we must have one to give to this gentleman in place of the one which your family is now devouring. When the commissionaire had gone, Holmes took up the stone and held it against the light. And that's kind of all the time we have for today. How long have we got on this, out of curiosity? So, just this page. Just we still have a fair amount of this short story to go. So, I mean, maybe we could find some other people in the library at some point. I did think about that at some point. There might be some other authors in here for me to talk to. There's a lot of goose talk. Let's see. Okay, where were we? Henry Baker, I believe. Pray take. Nope, we're not that far. There, we're here. Okay, I found where we are. Does a short story count as a book? Yes. For the purposes of my counter, yes it does. So we have done one with this. "20-minute skip videos of me in the library." Law videos and things, I do have some plans for those kind of things. I have some plans. I will definitely figure some stuff out with that. Nose. Anyway. That would be me. Thank you so much, guys. More than usual. Honestly, really, thank you. Like, the support today really has helped me get through that first barrage of trolls. It probably won't be the last, but hopefully I will, because I get used to it a little bit. We'll get stricter, we'll get more mods. Everything will improve. Can you voice act in some of them? Sure! I'll figure it out. We'll get some people in. You can get in a voice act. That'll be fun. If I can figure out some fun stories for it. I'm glad you got here in general. It was quite an interesting stream. But the story's good. I will probably finish this Sherlock Holmes off, maybe this short story off, just the start of next Sunday. And then we'll go on to Frankenstein for Spooky Month. And that will be really fun. Next week, not because of what happened today or Minecraft or anything. I did have this planned before all of that happened. But I am going to take Monday and Tuesday off from streaming. Just because I wanted a bit of a break anyway before this. So, it's all coming in kind of good timing wise, because I get to kind of recover from what just happened. I get to recover from my cold in a planned break I was gonna take. So I won't be back Monday or Tuesday. I won't be back until Friday next week. I will still have some content up. It was absolute happy accident. I will still be putting up some content because obviously I can't let the channel go dry. But yeah, I will be just taking a small break to recharge myself a little bit. Maybe to plan some things for Spooky Month. And get lots of writing done. I need to get a lot of writing done. I wanted to publish a book this year, and I kind of need to get my ass on that. So hopefully I will get some progress on that as well. But other than that, yeah, I just want a little time off. Just a little rest. Rest my little streamer brain.
Yes to next Sunday. It's only Monday and Tuesday I'm taking off next week. I'll be back on Friday, and I'll still be doing Sunday next week. Just Monday, Tuesday off. I will put the schedule up on Monday as usual. So you'll be able to see what days I'm specifically skipping. But I will be back with more Sunday story time next week. And Tuesday, not Tuesday. No Tuesday. No Ruiner, no Minecraft. Get the choose. Yeah, it's Tuesday. That's how you say Tuesday, innit? The usual crap. If you enjoyed the stream, please, if you have not already, feel free to leave a like or subscribe to the channel. I would highly appreciate it. If you have not clicked on all the amazing links in my description, then you should also do that. There are many social medias. There's my Discord. There's places you can pay me to write for you if you want. And many things. Yeah, don't forget to thumbs up, people. Thumbs up and subscribe. That would make me happy. But you guys would make me happy in general. Briony action figures. I guess I'm I'm working on some merch for you since you're so eager. Press the bell for the nuclear launch button. Don't press the nuclear launch button. We don't want nuclear winter. I have actually had fun, regardless of the blip. I'm really glad I managed to continue streaming. Thanks, and that's partly thanks to you guys helping me out and making me feel like, I don't know, like there's some people out there who still enjoy it. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you to anyone who lurked. And thank you to anyone who watches the VOD. I appreciate you all. Stash prevails. Stash cannot be stopped. Moustache power! I had fun. I hope you had fun. This has been Briony Rose Smith, live from the Forbidden Library. Goodbye!